Hi, I'm Ajay Minocha and welcome to Upon Hyderabadi. It's a matter of great pride for me. I started with cricket and then I went on to the medical side, and today I'm actually taking a step away from the conventional people that we interview. This is my first lady guest, and behind this pretty face is a very determined, hard-working, sincere person who has achieved a lot, and despite the changing trends in the industry, she has not only sustained those trends but has carved a niche for herself in sustainability. Welcome, Asmita Marwa.
Thank you, Ajay. Lovely to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start.
Shoot away.
Shoot away. Mera Suhana Bachpan. So tell us something about your childhood.
My childhood was, I think, very innocent, and I loved nature, always was attracted to playing with, like animals and climbing trees and cooking. I used to make these hot pots, collect things from the vegetable garden, my grandmother's garden, and make some stuff, and like little innocent things.
Right.
It was nice.
So you did a bachelor's in psychology.
That's right.
I'm not going to ask you what you learnt, what you didn't, but what I'm going to ask you is, are you a good judge of people having done psychology, or have you been made generally a sucker out of many times?
I just think that I have learned to tap into my intuition. I'm very, very in tune with energies around me. I can sense it, I can feel it. So I don't think so.
Good.
No, I mean, you do meet people who take advantage and who promise you the world and not, show up. But,
right.
But I take it in my stride. I think it's,
okay,
to each his own. Yeah.
This is not a typical Ghisapita question. I always ask it, so I'll just tweak it.
Okay.
Any influence, either in the form of a person or an incident, that got you into the fashion design world?
I would like to mention this one person, M.F. Hussain, who was a very, very dear family friend.
Right.
And he, I think, saw the talent very, very early on, even before I thought of fashion.
Right.
He just sensed that I had a very unique sense of style and the way I expressed myself through clothes, through design. And he always said, you should design, you should do something. Why don't you make clothes for me? So he was my very first client.
Okay.
And I made beautiful these vests for him with lots of pockets, because he loved to photograph and film and always wanted his paintbrush around.
Yeah, we've all seen his paintings.
Yeah, and this one behind is his painting, yes.
What does
which
it
he
mean?
Made. Oh, it has a lovely story actually.
Go on, go on.
Hear it. This is Tom Cruise invading India through the Hindu Kush, and that's how it came about. And if you can see the chiseled face cut of Tom Cruise, that's him.
All right. Coming to your fashion, you did a course somewhere during the line, or completely self-taught?
Completely self-taught. I think that was my greatest learning, because, but I have to say it was in my genes, because it's a God's gift,
Yes.
You can't really learn how to place things or how to use color. There's only so much you can learn. The rest of it is from your soul.
Wow.
And I think that's what I inherited, because my mother's an artist. My grandmother was also very, very creative. And I drew a lot of inspiration from them. And I learned a lot how to repurpose fabric, how to, reuse, rewear differently. And that was ingrained into me, sustainability, at a very young age.
We'll talk of sustainability. You're very popular with that. First, I want to ask you about your struggles. Even I think when you got married to Harvesh Marwaha, both of you were not kind of fully settled.
Yeah.
So was it a case particularly in your case, was it a case of burning the midnight oil or a burning desire to make it someday? What was it, or both?
I think it was just silent confidence. I just knew it. I visualized this house when I was living in a one-bedroom apartment. Wow. When we got married, we moved into a one-bedroom. From there, we went into a two-bedroom, then a three-bedroom. From there, I knew that I had to make this happen. And I just knew it. And somehow, I think God just blessed us. We both worked very hard, and sure. We built this life, and I'm proud of it.
Okay, well done. Now we move into the 21st century. When did you first, start off in the world of fashion? How many years later was it that you made an arrival statement?
Okay. So I think I started very early designing for friends and just dabbling in it and gaining confidence through having exhibitions and I had a sense of style which was very, very unique and different. Right. So I always stood out from the crowd. I always stood out, and I knew that was my USP, and I wanted to bring it into my line. And I have clients who date back to 30 years who bought things from me then, and they say, the pieces of clothing which we can't discard because it's so relevant even today. And that's where I started, probably 30 years ago. And I think for a fashion designer, it's very important to debut in on the national scene. And Lakme gave me that opportunity in 2008. So it's how many years now? 2008? 15 years, yeah. So 15 years. So 15 years before that was styling for films, styling for friends, having exhibitions. So all that was my schooling, my learning. And then comes Fashion Week, and that's when you actually arrive on the fashion scene. And fortunately for me, my first collection is also remembered till date as one of my best. I did kalamkari. I introduced kalamkari, I would say, to India in a way which no other designer did. As I introduced colors like, indigo and burnt red and green, vibrant colors. Whereas kalamkari before that was always blue. Always browns and mustards and maroons. They were very dull, colors. So I worked with artists and created this line which was extremely bold. And so I had Shiva Parvati, or I had Krishna, I had, gods on dresses. So very, very bold and yet contemporary, You wouldn't shy away from wearing it to, any event.
So Asmita, just now you have given me 3 questions to ask you. So I'm going to go one by one before I forget. I think in the 90s and early 2000s was still the time when guys used to wear obnoxious looking flashy clothes and run around trees. And when you designed for the film industry, did you have to, comprehend with that kind of challenge, or they accepted what you gave them?
Fortunately, they got me in to sort of
change
that. So I would definitely say I was lucky to work with, very, very good directors with great vision who wanted to change, and also actors who were willing to experiment with their looks. And I worked on films which are so iconic and relevant and known for their styling even till today. They're hailed as one of the best. Like Manmadadu, there was Gharshana, Santosham, then Pokri, and there's so many films which were all blockbuster hits. So I was very, very fortunate to work with amazing people. Yeah.
Did you ever face a situation where, you had large budgets, but the choice of fabric and the design, clothes were so garish and loud that you just wouldn't accept it? Did you compromise or you left the job?
No, fortunately, I think I've always stuck to my guns and my
Got away with it.
Yeah, because I could convince them. You know,
Right.
they saw sense because of whatever reason. I think I have a way of explaining things to people, and they sort of trust me, and they're coming to me because I am different from the rest.
Right. Now tell me about Lakme and what do you do with such organizations? I mean, I'm a layman, so as a layman, I'm asking you, I know they are brands, so how do you get associated with such brands and what role do you play with them?
So Lakme, for a designer, Lakme or FTCI, the Fashion Week, they're together now. And that's a platform which is extremely important for every designer to showcase. Because that's when you meet your buyers, that's where you get the press, you get visibility in the fashion fraternity.
Right.
You're recognized there. Whereas Blenders Pride is another way of reaching the masses, but through associating with them, and you tour different cities, you tour two-tier cities or the metros.
All right.
It's a long association.
Now, as a woman entrepreneur and as someone who has grown your business from scratch,
Yes.
so there is the concept of visualization, there is a concept of client interfacing, and there's a concept of delivery.
Yeah.
Where does your heart lie? I'm sure you've done all, but where does your heart still lie?
My heart, I think, lies in the creative process.
Right.
You know, and then finally, when the client wears it and appreciates it and gets back to me with photographs and with so much excitement, and that fulfillment I feel is just so amazing. It's like, okay, I did my job, and I made someone so happy and confident in her own skin. So yeah, I love that whole process.
Now I'll come to your favorite subject. Zero waste and sustainability.
Yes.
Please tell us a lot, as much as you know and what we would like to hear.
I think it's just the need of the hour. Though, I think every Indian family, I think it is in our roots, it's in our, ethos to repurpose things, to save things, to be mindful, but I think today's generation has somehow lost that. They don't see it. They're all so into fast fashion, and everything is at a click of a button. They don't appreciate the soul of being sustainable, and so I learned it, I think, very young from my grandmother, where she used to repurpose all our old garments, and she used to make beautiful quilts, and I think every household, every grandmother did that. She'd create art out of scrap, and I think I brought that back into my design philosophy, where I want to elevate scrap into art. So if you can see what I'm wearing today, this is something very old, but since it has a story and it has a soul, it's timeless. It's made from pieces of leftover fabric. I cut it into patterns, and then I layer it into a design, like a painting.
You mean to say, are you telling me like that?
I've created a fabric using scrap.
Like paintings speak, clothes speak?
Yeah, of course they do.
So Asmita, you say that clothes speak, but how many people actually listen to the clothes speak? People have money, but many people tend to be loud and waste it. But do you find clients? Do you find clients who actually listen to your philosophy of making your clothes speak for themselves?
That's a very, very good question, Ajay, because I find it difficult, honestly, to attract my tribe, people who understand me and my design philosophy. But fortunately, over the years, I have built up a clientele, pan-India, and I would say pan-Europe, where I have built up a very loyal clientele who knows that I make something unique and special. And I think I'm getting it right, because wherever you go, wherever in the world, I have been stopped and asked where I got this from. I make these beautiful travel jackets which are extremely comfortable and also layered like a diary of travel. So it can take you from Vietnam to Burma to Afghanistan to Gujarat to Rajasthan. It can take you to many, many places, all in synergy. And it's such a beautiful canvas you're wearing of old textiles, old embroideries, everything aesthetically placed and put together, and a unique piece. And who wouldn't want a piece like that? Especially when you're like going abroad, you want to show where you're coming from.
So are you telling me that your international audience and folks, they listen to your clothes speak more than they do in India?
Yes. They appreciate it way more than we take it for granted, and they say, we say it's old school, or we want to like ape the West. But the West is looking at us for more inspiration, for more depth, for more, we have a culture which is over 5,000 years.
Asmita, now you're ready for my quick fire round. Man Madudu, your first break. Any memorable or hilarious incident with film star Nagarjuna?
Actually, not my first break, but one of my major breaks.
Right.
It was a fantastic experience, but I don't really remember anything which was extremely funny. But I remember there was this sense of, complete trust and confidence of my work, which
Freedom,
was so
right.
reassuring and so amazing, because I was just a beginner.
Right.
And to have that faith, it just, gave me so much confidence.
Second question, what makes a house a home? I'm sure you love this.
Yeah, personal touch and love and constant care. I mean, unless you're giving it your entire being, I don't think a house can ever be a home.
Right. Sometimes I wonder if you were born with a set of wheels. You travel, and you often use the word wanderlust. Please tell us what this wanderlust is.
I just feel that, the way travel inspires me and makes me happy, nothing else does. I'm sorry, but nothing compares to the experiences of meeting new people, discovering a new culture. I bring back so many memories. And what is life otherwise if you can't make, memories to cherish forever? For me, it's not materialistic thing. It's an experience which counts.
Okay. I'll give you one sentence or two. Two people I have singled out. You could add a third if you wish to.
Okay.
Please talk about your husband Harvesh and son Karan, and a third you can add.
Okay. So, my son is the most important being on the planet.
Right.
And the bond we share is, I think he says that I am his younger sister. I don't know why, that's not much of a compliment. But, we have this kind of a comfort where he can share a lot of things with me without hesitation. And he just, he's very protective about me. And I love that. And my husband Harvesh and me have literally grown up together. So we're more, I should say, like soulmates. I don't know soulmates, but we're like, we're just grown up together. So we know each other extremely well.
Right.
And the third person I would say who's really important to me is my mother. And I have learned, I think, everything about dressing up, clothes, cooking, to how to keep a house, everything from her. Because, your mother is your first teacher, as they say. Yeah.
How do you brand yourself or your collection to be more visible?
Now social media is is the way to go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come totally naturally to me because I have come onto this bandwagon very late. I was never on Facebook even like 7-8 years ago. So I just about started, and with Instagram also it's just a few years. So yeah, we're still learning and we're just navigating ourselves through the chaos.
Your fitness mantra?
Show up every day in the gym. I mean, at least 5 times a week. I come what may, even if I'm very tired, I've had a late night, I would still want to come, do a few stretches, just do something light. But I feel if you respect your body, it's going to take care of.
Your USP on fashion?
Keep it simple and classic, but have fun.
The best professional advice you've ever received?
Professional advice. To design clothes which I would like to wear. Personally. They say if you actually design clothes what you love, you can't go wrong with that.
The best professional advice you've ever given?
Given. A lot of young students have told me that I've been able to, interns have to advice on whether they should focus on design or marketing or media. I can sense what they'd be good at, and I think a lot of my students have got back to me saying that because you advised us, we thought of this.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you handle creative differences when collaborating with others?
I think I just, I'm not very pushy. So sometimes I just give in, sometimes I just switch off, sometimes I just said, okay.
You sit in sulk?
Not sulk, but, I just try not to think about it too much.
What has been your biggest nightmare in your designing career, and what has been your delightful moment, your crowning glory? These are 2 questions, one by one.
My nightmare. Oh yes. Once we had, floods, and my workshop was completely immersed in water, and I lost everything. I lost so much fabric. I lost, machines, and it was.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I lost a lot.
Your crowning glory?
Crowning glory would be, I think, to be recognized by some people in the fraternity for my 30 years in the business. And we had a kind of a celebration party which was hosted by them to celebrate my success in fashion. That was special. And it happened, July.
My next question, Asmita, Khadi. What's the future for Khadi?
Khadi has a tremendous future because I think there are a lot of weaves now which are finer. There's a lot more experimentation. Even the Khadi Bhandars and all are taking advice from designers and more professionals in the industry to sort of modernize the whole process and the design aesthetics of Khadi.
So Asmita, I'm in this materialistic world, awards are not as important as what somebody tells you. So what is it, those moments where somebody told you really something special or recognized you on a platform which you really cherish? That sort of a thing? Can you recall anything?
Can't really recall anything at the moment, but yeah, it's always wonderful to be recognized by your industry, your fellow colleagues, and I think I've sort of garnered enough respect there, which is, whoever knows of Asmita Marwa, the brand, they know that I'm doing something authentic, something original, something off the beaten track, So there I get a lot of respect from the industry, and that's wonderful.
How often do you get a chance to walk the ramp because of the business you are in? And you still look forward to it?
No, I don't look forward to walking on the ramp at all. I don't like, I'm actually very shy,
Okay.
I have to say. And I don't really like walking on the ramp, but I do have to take that bow, which is traditional after a show. So yeah, maybe once or twice a year.
Okay. Okay, Asmita, now the next question. Miles to go before you sleep or down the curve?
I think just go with the flow. Each day, live it to its fullest.
And travel.
Enjoy.
Travel.
Yeah, I want to I'm also like easing up on work a little bit.
Right.
I want to do quality stuff
Yeah.
and not produce too much, which I can't sell. I want to make exclusive things and, very curated kind of collections. And I'm very, very mindful about wastage. So I just want to live life and enjoy every day.
Any spiritual journey? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I think I am spiritual as a person, and it's not like I'm not ritualistic, but I just have this innate faith in trusting the universe, and we need to just tap into it, explore it, and have faith in it.
Your best stress buster?
Okay, stress buster would be cooking.
That's where I interrupted you on your last question, so you got it back.
Yes, cooking. Please follow me for my cooking, if not for fashion.
All right.
But yeah, I do make good food. Yes.
My
And I would compare my cooking to my fashion as well. I don't follow recipes. I cook straight from the heart. Like I mix colors, I mix ingredients.
Wow.
And I cook things.
Look forward to a meal shortly.
Sure.
My last question, आपकी खूबसूरती का राज and your USP on how not to age. Any advice?
Oh my God. Okay. I think I wouldn't stress more about exercise.
Right.
Do some form of exercise every day, at least 5 times a week.
Right.
Because there's nothing which will, help you age in reverse than exercise. Because I see the transformation in my own body. And just be happy. Just,
Yeah.
enjoy life.
Don't worry,
because
be happy.
It's a blessing. And being grateful for whatever I have in my life.
So that's what makes you the wonderful person you are. Asmita, thank you so much. But before I let you go, a couple of do's and
You want me to
don'ts.
sign on the coffee mug?
A couple of do's and don'ts for the viewers, preferably in Hyderabadi or Telugu, whatever. A couple of do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
क्या मियाँ क्या बोल रहे आप? इतना बिरयानी खाते रोज बिरयानी चाहिए.
So that's the don't.
No, चाहिए no. जैसे बिरयानी होना. हाँ. रोज बिरयानी खाते क्या?
So that's a don't.
Don't. Do's are walk को चलो यार.
ठीक है.
टैंक बंड पे वॉक पे जाएंगे. Yeah.
Thank you, Asmita.
Thanks.
Great having you.
Thanks, Ajay. I enjoyed it.
Yes,
Seriously
so did I.
enjoyed it.
Whether this city has grown up on me or I have grown up in this city, क्या फर्क पड़ता है यार, आखिर अपन हैदराबादी.
बिल्कुल,
Thank you.
हैदराबादी.